Hi, everyone, and welcome to this quick micro lesson on how to find an I-94 online. This lesson is part of a larger project, the California Newcomer Project, in coordination with CDSS and the Refugee Programs Bureau. Our goal is to equip you with practical and easy-to-use tools that you can bring directly into your work. I'm Carissa, an associate consultant with Solvera, and in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to locate, download, and save an I-94. So let's go ahead and get started. The I-94 is the official record of arrival and departure issued by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or often referred to as CBP. It's one of the most important documents for clients because it shows proof of lawful entry to the United States. I'm going to show you a few examples of what the form might look like. Here you can see Form I-94. This is what it will look like if you look at it online, or maybe a client has a printed off form that looks like this as well. And then you also might see it too as a piece of paper that will look like this, that will be stapled to something, maybe in the client's paperwork or in their file. So these are just two examples of what it might look like. Clients are often going to need the I-94 for applying for public benefits, getting work authorization or employment verification, or getting things like a state ID or driver's license. For refugees, parolees, and other ORR eligible populations, the I-94 form confirms admission status, so it's something that every caseworker should know how to find. Let's walk through on how to find it online. You want to first go to the website for Customs and Border Protection. Here you'll see that it's the official website. You can see at the top it says HTTPS, and then at the end you'll have .gov. You want to make sure you're using the official CBP website. On the page, you'll see a few options. You can see Home, Apply for I-94, Get Most Recent I-94, View Travel History, View Compliance, and Help. We're going to go ahead and click on Get Most Recent I-94. A Terms of Service will pop up, and you can scroll and read through this and acknowledge and agree. It'll open up to this new page. This is where it's going to take you to a form that you can enter the client's last name, first name, passport number, and country of citizenship. For this example, I'm just going to put items in these blanks. Date of birth. For this example, I'm putting other. And for document number, I'm just going to put a bunch of ones. But you can see here, there's little question marks next to each box. So it'll give you a little bit more information about what you want to put in there as well. Once you have all of this filled out, you're going to click Next or Continue. For this example that I'm going to show you, because we're not using an exact person's information, it's going to show us what it will look like when we get an error. So if I click Continue, it'll say no record found for traveler. This could be for a multitude of reasons. We know exactly why for this reason because I made up the information. But if everything did match, their most recent I-94 would appear on the screen. But sometimes, like I've just shown you, the record doesn't come up right away, and that can be normal. Here are a few troubleshooting tips that usually will solve it. You want to make sure you match the name exactly as it appears on the passport or visa. Even a missing space or an accent mark can cause this error. If it still doesn't appear, try reversing the first and last name fields. Some entries get swapped during data entry. You'll want to make sure you remove any special characters or accents. For example, you'll use Jose like this instead of Jose with an accent. And you want to check for multiple last names or maiden names. And you can try, and each version is kind of like a puzzle sometimes where you're trying multiple versions just to see which one might end up working. These small changes usually will fix the issue in just a few tries. But as you see, since we used a fake example, our changes did not adjust anything. So it still says no record found for traveler. If we did get our real I-94 that popped up that looked like this, you'll see the admission number here, then class admission, the entry date, and all the information that you need on the I-94. In order to save it, you'll click the PDF and you can click download PDF or print. I recommend saving the PDF copy in the client's secure digital file, print a hard copy for benefits or DMV appointments, and always make sure that the client receives their own copy, and make sure that they also know how to locate this online. Empowering clients to keep their own documents helps them feel in control of their case and can often reduce the follow-up needs later on. If you can't find the form still, you've tried spelling variations and still can't find the I-94, like in our example, there are two options for next steps. You can go to the I-94 frequently asked questions, and it can walk you through a couple different options to think through, and it can answer questions that you might have about the process for the I-94 and how to find it, and different questions that you might have. And then also you can scroll to the bottom of the website and click Contact CBP. Here you can put in information about what you might have an issue with. So you can put in I-94, you can put in issue with my I-94, whatever is applicable to the situation. You can then submit this to CBP, and as it says here, their response time is for 3 to 5 business days. Another way that you can follow up is to contact a CBP deferred inspection site. These are offices that can correct an issue or look more into an issue for I-94s directly. Major airports like Los Angeles, San Francisco have locations and phone numbers listed on the CBP website. So here you can see the CBP website, and we have deferred inspection sites. And down here it has a list of major cities. For example, if we click San Diego, we can find the closest deferred inspection site there. And it also has the email for corrections that is needed or phone numbers. So let's go ahead and recap what we've covered. We covered what an I-94 is and why it's important. We've looked at how to locate and download it from online. We talked a little bit about troubleshooting tips if the record doesn't immediately appear, and how to get support if it's missing or needs corrections. You now are ready to confidently help clients access their I-94s and even help them learn how to find it online themselves. If you would like to share feedback or suggest future micro lessons, please complete the feedback survey through the QR code. And you can check out additional guides and webinars at Support Guide. Thank you so much for watching this micro lesson from Solvera, your partner in impact.